Hey guys, we're back.
Episode 2. These are the houses that we didn't choose. So, in this video, we're going to show you some of the homes that we didn't choose, or actually, the owners didn't choose us, but show the pros and cons of some of the homes that we're looking at. So, we were looking at what were specs again?
So we first started with Tom showing me this one house that is in Walnut.
So, it's this is the one. So, this is the house in Walnut. This was like, hey, it's something we can afford. Let's look at it. Um, it was a beautiful area in Walnut. It was one of the locations we're looking at. It had our specs was a 4.2,
Or two.
4.2, and sitting on anything on a greater than a quarter acre, and this was sitting on a whole acre. So it had some promises until we went there.
You never know a house until you actually walk through the door. And so when we walked in, it looked really impressive. Wasn't too crazy over the step, but it stepped down to the living room and then you had to step up for the dining room. Wasn't too crazy over that. What I really did not like is the smallest kitchen on
It
planet Earth.
wasn't that
It was
small.
super small.
It wasn't that small. See, it's
That is
not
the
that
kitchen.
small.
It was like the size of my bathroom that I currently have. So I said, no, can't do my cooking there. So yes.
But it had $1 million view. So let me go to the.
And the rooms were very small too.
Okay, the rooms were tiny. I admit the rooms are tiny.
The
Um,
master didn't feel like a grand master.
but it had $1 million view for the price it was set at. It had $1 million view. It had a pull. This is $1 million view. You can't buy that for the price range it was at that point.
You needed a bigger kitchen though.
Yes. This was listed as a whole acre plus. Problem is, it's on a hillside, and it goes all the way down to the street at the bottom. So this was a contender just on the $1 million view for the price it had.
But it was unusable land for Tom in his bonsai.
And it was really a 3.2, not a 4.2. So we're looking. So it was kind of like it started us out. It gave us an idea. It's like, you know what, this is what we could afford. It's an upgrade for where we are at this point. But small kitchen, not a 4.2, not the quarter acre. So it was a no-go. Okay. So about a week or two later, we saw these three triplets. So these three triplets was in the Saddleback area of Chino, and the area was awesome.
It's really close to everything that we typically go to, which is right there in Chino Hills. It's near the 99 Ranch, near the Hastings Ranch Theater. It was just the location was great. But
Well, it had so this area in Chino, it borderlines Chino Hills. It had HOA, had about $100, 120 HOA. All these were horse properties. It had a couple things that we didn't like. It was a cul-de-sac. It was kind of weird cul-de-sac. It had a horse trail behind the house.
which is kind of like an alleyway, and that's what we currently have, which we're not too crazy over.
This is another like security point going in. So, but it had the 3.2. We don't want to show this. So this was like the triplets. They're all like twins of each other. But what this and then the other one was this guy over here that had potential. This one was different from the first one as it had a library, which is really awesome.
I liked this one, but Tom did not like this one because it had the side and then also the back exposed.
So this corner, if you can't see, there's a horse trail that runs right parallel to your property line. Of course, it's another security risk. People can stare over, people jump over, and you're open on two sides on the back. So location wasn't the greatest, but the lot was great. Lot was greater than zero point 0.4 of an acre, almost half an acre.
It had the larger lot out of the three triplets.
So, but it was still a 3.2. So it was kind of like, eh. Then we came this one. So this guy
was the reason why I started packing like crazy and getting my house ready because I really wanted this house.
and this that looking at the photos, it wasn't like eh, but when you got there, it was like, oh, this is pretty cute. That we could do wonders. We were looking also a 4.2, quarter acre or larger, which this had. This was a 3.2 also, so it wasn't like the right spec. It was sitting on 0.4 of an acre. Most of the house itself sits in the front of the property. So you had almost, it felt like a half an acre in the back. There were some issues with this one. It was a 3-2. That was one issue. The other one, the one reason what sold it wasn't the interior.
The interior wasn't the greatest. It was, there. I don't
It
think
was updated though.
it was updated, but they were still needed stuff that we needed to do. It was the outside that made me want this house so badly.
Okay, the kitchen was okay.
Oh yeah, the kitchen was very cute.
The layout.
It was kind of a mixed feeling because this kitchen was a mission style kitchen, but yet the house was not very craftsman-like. So, but the outside, get to the outside so everyone could see the outside.
You get the outside. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, boring house, boring house. Okay. Look at this. This is they had a koi. Look at this. It had a koi pond.
There's the koi pond, and it came with the kois.
It had a built-in barbecue, a big old pool.
There's the beautiful
that's a
pool.
nice looking pool. Out of all the homes we saw so far, this backyard took the cake. I mean, literally
spent money. That man spent money on this backyard.
Okay. This is a backyard. Look, it had a pool, it had the koi area, the sitting area, it had a whole was it outdoor
entertainment area.
I'm sorry, bar area. Had some grass, a growing area. It had
a shed in the back.
It had a shed in the back corner here. Entry in the back way. This had everything we're looking for. But
it was missing one bedroom.
Missing one bedroom, one bath. And it was not located in the right direction. So we were looking for something that faced the house itself, the front door or the property, faced south or faced east. That's just a feng shui thing that you may not believe in it. We don't believe in it, but you know what? It's better to be safe. Knock on wood. Sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's kind of the mentality we're at. But look at this. This is just an awesome place. So this house really made us pack. Really get our house tuned up. We got our house tuned up in 7 days, 10 days?
We did. We did all the honeydew list all down in a few days. Got our son to even pitch in to help paint around the house and pack up all his toys and everything. And then right before we were showing our house, this house went contingent. So it was in contract, which made us very sad.
Yes.
But we did find another house.
No, it gets better because remember, we're like, oh, we don't like the house. It's a 3-2. It was great. Great location, wrong side of the street. And then we sat on one. I'm like, is this missing a pool house? So we threw a pool house in this place. Big living room with attached bath to it, so people can take a shower in the pool. Don't even come in the house. That would have been our 4-3, and this would have been the perfect setup. But it went contingent before our house put it on the market. So we were really bummed out for a long time. And then
a few days. And then we found this house.
Okay, so this is where we went. So again, Upland was in our furthest east that we were thinking of going. So this was like a borderline. We looked at homes in Rancho, Altaloma, but that drive, the extra 2 exits, the extra 20 minutes to work wasn't really worth it for us. So Upland was really the last stop that we really wanted to go east. Then we found this house. This house went on the market for less than 4 days. So this went on contingent in 4 days. And we were right there. House was the right spec, was a 4-2. They made it look like a hacienda.
They did a really great job, just really putting in those nice Spanish accents and also trying to stay true to the hacienda look to the house.
They did a really good job upgrading. When I walked through, I went, okay, I'm willing to put a bid on it, just because they did it well. And this market is either you're priced well or you're turnkey. But if you're both, it will sell like hotcakes. And this was one of those that was done well and priced right. So it wasn't really, these were still cookie cutter homes, but they upgraded everything. Kitchen wasn't the greatest. I think it was a little small.
It was small because of the fact that they cut it off with that island and they have the stove. I wasn't too crazy over the stove. I just kind of.
It was a downdraft stove. And most stoves that we've seen are updraft, and those are a little better. But you know what? It wasn't our house anyways. But It had a couple things going for it. The bar was done well. This is the first time I've seen a bar upgraded with a refrigerator. Um,
The outside. The outside was beautiful also.
I like the French doors there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a killer. That
We'll go back to the Talavera. See, they even put a Talavera sink in. I mean, they really stayed true to the whole Spanish theme to this the hacienda house.
but it was dark.
Oh yeah, that's the bottom bathroom that has no windows. So yes, that room was quite dark.
See, they updated the. Sorry, let me go back. I don't think my wife ever noticed that one. They updated the stairway.
Hmm.
There's only one railing versus
Right,
two.
right.
I kind of like that too. So this was a different setup home, but most homes are on. They have 3 bedrooms upstairs and 2 baths upstairs. One in the master, of course, and then one in
Hmm.
the main hallway. Um, but the layout was as well. I mean, I thought this was small. This tub was really short. I think this was like a 4.5 foot tub. It was tiny.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to a Disney cruise, the tub, that's what it felt like. Um, it didn't feel like a master. I would have like had a walk-in shower, but then you use the tub, so
Right.
it's kind of that compromise. Um, but yeah, walk-in closet, and then these were the bedrooms. But again, the backyard and this one was done well.
Beautifully done. And they
Um,
even had a beautiful little entertainment area where they had
and that was right
um,
here.
the grill, and they even had it wrapped around so you can put all of your party trays out there. It was just
The
beautiful.
pool was again. This was another well done pool backyard. They spent money. I mean,
Hmm.
literally, there were a lot of mature landscaping. Um, it was a quarter acre, but it didn't have enough land for me to grow my trees. So that was another reason why we were moving. It's
Yeah.
really for my bonsai trees, able to display them well, and have like a small nursery on the side. So we compromised. I mean, they had a whole, I don't know, good 50, 60 feet right here in length, by 5 feet depth here. That would have been a really easy growing area for me. It's not the greatest setup, but it was a good compromise. The house was really good location. It was north of the 210. Um, but again, it was north of 210 freeway, but it was like right off 21st Street. I mean, it was like literally
Right. It was the
second
second
house.
house in. So you're right off a very busy street.
So that was kind of
So,
the compromise, but it was
right,
priced well for
right.
for a turnkey house.
Right. And I think they didn't select us because we were contingent on selling our house.
We
And I
weren't
think they
we didn't
wanted to get out.
yeah, we didn't sell our house like yet. I think we were concurrent at that
Hmm.
point.
Hmm.
But I think if we sold our house like a day before, I think we would have had a shot.
Yeah, well, if we would have, yeah.
I think we would
So
have.
then, because they didn't take us, we were in our sad mode and we kept looking, and we found this house in
Claremont.
Claremont, and it was right by Claremont High School. So that made me super happy because that meant our son could just walk to high school. I mean, it was literally stone throw away.
This wasn't a looker.
It
I,
was not very pretty on the outside, but it had such great, like, mid-century modern character that we had been wanting to look for. And so once you pass that green door, you're in a beautiful little courtyard, and your front door is actually the
screen door, the sliding
sliding
window.
door
And
is
so,
really your front door, which is different.
well, you've never seen a mid-century modern house. There are like fish bowls. I mean, there's glass everywhere.
Mhm.
Every room has like a sliding window to the
Mhm.
outside. So it had some really good, almost like Asian type of aesthetics that goes with
Mhm.
it. Um, but again, it was Claremont, so we knew
Right.
we're gonna battle uphill in this case, trying to buy this house. But before we did that, we were like, let's look at the bones. The courtyard was great. I was like, okay, I can display my bonsais here. It was a great way for you walk in the house. Can you imagine walking in the house and say, hey, look at these trees?
Yes.
And, a great place to have coffee in the
Right.
morning. Trying to debrief before you go to work. I mean, it's a great meditation spot, I thought. Um, and then you walk. I mean, it's weird. That drove me nuts because let me go back really quick. That green door is your front door. Technically, that's really your front door, and that screen door right there is how you get in the house.
Mhm.
I've never seen that before.
It is different. It is very different. But it was so, like, it was nature with the house, they just married it so well. It was just such a peaceful house. Like you walked in and you just felt the peace.
And that's classic mid-century modern with
Mhm.
these big old windows, these weird shapes with these high ceilings. Um, uh, they actually, I saw the blueprint, the original of this house. This used to be like a bookshelf right here, and this used to be a dining room. So this used to be a living room, dining room combo here. But I think a couple owners before took the that bookshelf out, and there used to be a doorway right there that leads to the kitchen. So this wasn't really a big living room. It was supposed to be that living room, dining room combo. Um, but they did this house. I mean, it was original. It was still pretty much original. Um, I mean, they had laminate floors. It was kind of warping, so he's like, okay, we got to put hardwood floors if we take this
Mhm.
house. The windows were great. I mean, it was natural light everywhere.
Right.
Kitchen was redone.
Mhm.
Um, Kitchen was redone. I think this was like quartz. I think with maple cabinetry, a lot of
Mhm.
storage. It was beautiful. I mean, I had nothing bad to say about the kitchen.
Mhm.
Um, then they went to
The restrooms, they were very much still trapped in their
no
60s,
50s,
50s.
56,
I can't remember
55.
the year of this house, but I think it was original bathroom. I don't think they ever updated the bathrooms. So one of them even had one of those heat lamps,
Oh yeah, no, it's coming up.
which was great because I didn't even know that was a thing. And so it
Oh, it's
informed
this one. It
me.
was right up here. The little. No, this is
No, it
no,
wasn't
no,
that
no,
one. It
no.
was
It
the
was a
other one.
master bathroom. Here you go. Um,
It's right there.
yeah, it was right above here. But it was. We
It was
looked.
red. I thought it was like a red light district kind of thing.
I
And
don't
I
think I
thought,
should.
what the heck? But
Uh,
you got to check out the backyard. Go to the next slide. Check out the backyard. It was so peaceful. I mean, this house just screamed like a hide, kind of
it's a hidden gem
yeah,
in Claremont.
very much so.
So I looked at it and went, okay, I think I could use this. I mean, back there was good. I mean, it was usable. It felt like a quarter acre. It didn't have a pool. But this area would have been my bonsai area, just my nursery side, and I could display on the outside. So it had like the right setup. Let me go back to, but the rooms again. Um, was this a four? Yeah, this was a 4-3.
Mhm.
There's a master. Master had that classic window. These were the closets. It was. It had no light. This had no light.
Oh,
Remember
yes. All the bedrooms had no ceiling lights. So they were illuminated by
these
the
lamps.
lamps that were in the room. So that was unique because I've never seen a house with no ceiling light. So that was something we were looking into. How do you install that? And so,
And the bathroom was. I mean, they're so regional. They were. I looked at the home and said, okay, it's copper. Um, so it was good. But we still had to dump a good like 30,000 into it.
update everything.
Just to put some lipstick on this pig. At that point, I mean, the location was great. You couldn't beat
Oh my
Claremont.
goodness, you couldn't beat that area. It was
Um,
such a cute little area.
we didn't get it because we got outbidded almost.
Well, no, it's because we were contingent and they didn't want anybody that was contingent at all. And so for that reason, they didn't even look at our proposal. And so that made us really sad. And so,
Yeah, but this house went more than it went for. This started at 730, but it went above 50,000 above the asking. So you know what? It was Claremont.
yeah,
So
yeah.
So
So then we decided, okay, let's go further out.
no, not further out.
Oh,
So this house came along. Um, this is a really nice area of Covina. It was a little closer.
Covina Hills.
It was closer work.
Mhm.
I knew exactly what this was. Sitting on a half an acre and Covina Hills. You don't find half an acre in Covina for this price point. Um, it had the right spec. It was a 4.2. Yeah, it was a 4.2.
Mhm.
It wasn't a 4.3, but 4.2. Um, Everything was so dated.
And this was again that mid-century modern house that we were looking for. And I actually loved all of the original things that it had, like that glass
Mirror? You actually like
mirror. I
that?
thought that was
Oh,
kind of
good lord.
fun because I mean, who still has a
It's
glass
gold,
mirror?
lady. Look, look. This is what happens when you have to live with Caroline. Look, 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 look. It's gold.
Yes, because gold is like the color for
It's not
mid-century
golden,
modern.
baby,
Oh
okay?
yes, it's golden. So
Oh,
we love this house, but there was
she did.
one catch though, is the fact that someone had passed away in this house.
Well, you know, in any type of home buying, you never buy a house that someone died in. So I could have done some, you know, I do research, so I dig a lot. So we found out that it was a lady that passed away in this house. She passed from natural causes, old age. And so I went, you know what?
Just as long as she doesn't come back and haunt us, we were okay with this house. So as you can see, they even had a bar there,
But
and
it was
then
this, I mean, you could easily flip this one,
yeah,
sell it, and get out.
yeah,
If you, I mean, if the ghost haunted you, you're like, you know
yeah,
what, we could still sell this house, and you still would have made money on this house
right,
just because of location.
right.
You couldn't beat the location on this one. Sitting on half an acre, um, it was ugly.
It needed to be updated.
It was stuck in the 50s
Yeah.
or 60s. I don't know what era this was. This looks like my mom's house. This is probably the 60s. Sorry, mom. But it was stuck. I mean, it was ugly. I mean, like all the cabinets, everything was falling apart. There was a hole in the bottom. Remember that?
Oh yes, the hole in the bottom.
Utilities wasn't redone yet, so there was no copper. Electrical was still old. There's nothing that's been updated.
But they did take good care of it. I mean, it wasn't like filthy, dirty, or anything like that. They did. I mean, someone did take care of this house.
I'm
When you go
laughing.
outside, you can see that they, you know,
I'm laughing because
landscape was taken care
the
of.
one we bought, that
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Oh.
You guys have to wait till see that one.
Once we reveal that one, you know, our best bud, my best bud, Big Joe Galgool, he moved to Upland too, and he saw the house that we bought, and he's like, "Good, damn!" I mean, they walked in and walked out.
Ran away.
Wait, okay, back to this house though. This house had really good bones.
It
I mean, even though a lady died in it, the layout was really well laid out. All the rooms were on one side. Master had an access to the backyard. Had a beautiful backyard. It was well done.
See, even those lights, they're now very hip right now.
Yeah, she wants to buy one for $325 each, man.
They're very much the hip thing to buy right now.
Anybody who work for like a lighting store wants to give us some lights, I'll take them. You know, I'll give you a plug, man. But seriously, the layout was good. I mean, a lot of things were outdated, but the layout was well enough that I'm like, you know what, it's done well. It was carpet. It was carpet in the bathroom. You know?
I know.
So yeah, it was a walk-in shower, but I've seen remodels of this style and they've done well. So I was like, okay, I know we can do this one well. So look at the backyard. Look at the backyard. Oh, good Lord.
See, now I couldn't do the.
No, you wanted to keep this
No,
wallpaper.
I didn't want the wallpaper. I wanted the lights constant.
I thought you wanted it. You said this is a cool wallpaper.
It's a cool wallpaper. I agree. But I don't know.
Change your mind right now.
Keep going.
There's
the backyard. Oh, it's so beautiful.
I don't know what it is.
I think your bonsais would have been so pretty with this backyard. It was very nice.
Okay,
and
so
you kind of had a little view of the mountains.
No, you had a view of the mountains right here in the corner view.
The trees were in the way too. So.
I don't know, but the pool. I mean, you know, for this age of the pool, a good 40 years old, it was a great layout. I think someone that was an architect, like landscape architect, or something that really had good vision of what this house would laid out to be, or the person had money and this did a really good job back in the 70s. Yeah, my bonsais would have been, my nursery would have been on this hill. Not the ideal situation, but half an acre again in Covina, the dogs would have
our fur babies would have loved all that grass.
And it was a single story. That was another bonus. It was a single story. And that's kind of things. So this had the south facing, half an acre or greater, a quarter acre or greater, 4.2. What else? That was pretty much it. It hit every single check mark except that someone died in the house.
Yeah. That was kind of big. But we still put the max bid. We asked the asking price. We gave it to them. And then they came back and told us that there was another bid that came in, and it was $50,000 over
asking.
And they asked if we wanted to play, and we had to decline because we knew we had to put money into this house, and we didn't want to stretch our budget. So, so those were the homes that we looked at that were really potentials. And we weren't able to get, but we had fun looking at
this
those.
This one really sold us.
That was the one that made me pack and start getting
Yeah, so we named this one the
going.
Koi House, the Koi Pond House. Like, we named all these homes like different names. I think this one was like the Walnut House, the View House.
Yes.
This one was the Ugly House. And
No, well,
yeah, this was the Ugly House. We call this one the Ugly House.
it wasn't that. It had the Chihuahua
Then
next
we call
door.
this the Horse Trail House.
Yes, because it had the horse trail.
Oh, that was the Chihuahua House,
Yes,
wasn't it?
it
That
was
that was.
there. If you bought that house, you would live next door to two little yapping Chihuahuas,
We're sorry.
which I was, not going to.
Sorry, if you're watching this video and you're the owner, we're sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you own any of these homes, don't take this with a grain of salt. We didn't buy your house. Sorry. We love some of them. Honestly, we love some of them. So you can take that whatever. But this house, this one really sold us. This was the Claremont. No, that was the Albright house, or the Hostin. That was the Hostin. This was the Claremont house, and this was the Depperson's house. It's pretty sad how we named it. But anyways, those are the homes. So when we get the keys, we'll go through this one more time with our house, and you can see how ugly the house is. But
It's dirty. We're having someone come over and help us clean since we're in a pandemic.
10 more days. 10 more days.
We'll let you know about that experience too.
All right. So until next time, bye everybody. And this is what?
Living with Caroline.